Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar as we introduce you to the new and improved ISS. I'm Joel Griffin, Managing Director of Marketing for North America at ISS, and I will be your moderator for today's program. Those of you who are familiar with our company already are already likely aware of many of the traditional video surveillance solutions that we provide for applications and industries of all shapes and sizes. However, the ISS of today offers a number of AI-powered high-trust analytics that you may not be familiar with. In today's webinar, we're going to provide you with an overview of some of these newer offerings and how they can help bolster security for myriad use cases. Today's webinar will be broken down into several parts. Following a quick introduction of today's speakers, we will briefly look at who ISS is as a company and the types of solutions that we offer. Following this, we will delve into some of our new products and features and take a look at the types of industries they are most applicable for. Finally, the last 10 to 15 minutes of today's program will be reserved for Q&A with you, our audience. Please submit a question at any time using our Q&A button at the bottom of the screen, and we will answer as many questions as we are able to verbally during that time period. At the conclusion of today's program, we will randomly select one attendee who stayed on for the duration of the event to receive our $100 Amazon gift card. Your first speaker for today's program is Matt Powell, Managing Director for North America at ISS. Matt has more than 2 decades of experience in security and transportation technologies, having formerly served as the principal of infrastructure markets at Convergent and as a developer of transportation market strategies for Video Alarm and Moog prior to that. Your second speaker for today's webinar is Eugene Beytenbrod, Global Director of Engineering at ISS. Eugene has more than 20 years of experience in the security industry, specializing in software development, project management, and the creation of support infrastructure. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Matt. Matt, take it away.
Thanks, Joel. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me all right? All right. And don't think I didn't hear you trying to take that managing director role from me early on there. First off, thanks everybody for joining. My name is Matt Powell. I'm a managing director here for North America. ISS, with 26 years in the industry, has had a lot of successes internationally. And while we are headquartered in New Jersey, it wasn't until right before COVID that we really decided to focus on the North American market. And then COVID hit. And while COVID negatively disrupted many companies, we utilized that time to really focus on getting the most out of SecureOS, developing it, and a little over a year ago, beginning to bring this incredible solution set to North America in a new way. If you have an existing ISS system, you have no idea how capable your system truly is. And today, that's what we want to talk about. So perhaps back in the past, you purchased one module from us years ago and you didn't know about all of our capabilities, or perhaps you're looking to add some new functionality to your existing system. Whether you're a long-term partner, an end user who has a system and wants to learn more, or maybe you just want to know what's new with ISS, we're glad to have you here today. And if during this webinar, you see something that you like, a function you want to add, email info@issivs.com. That's info@issivs.com. And one of our regional business managers will be in touch. You can email me, matt@issivs.com, or connect with any of us on LinkedIn. So let's go ahead, move to the next slide and look at our team. There it is. So there's going to be some familiar names on here if you've done business with us in the past and you're an existing partner. For example, everybody knows Eluzio Figueiredo, our CEO, and Roman, our CTO. Now, back in the past, Roman was the CEO and then Al was the COO, but that's changed over the years for many people that are coming up to speed with some of our older products who are looking to advance it. Also, we have Richard Burns, our chairman, and then we have Danielle Marino, who is our COO. Some of you may have known him. He was working heavily down in South America, overseeing operations down there. Now he oversees everything globally. And then you have myself. I'm our managing director for North America. And you have Eugene who's our global director of engineering, not director of engineering, global director. There just wasn't enough space in there to put it all without 2 lines on these types of presentations. We have an experienced team in North America you're going to be working with now. Joel, who is our director of marketing. Some of you may know him from his past at Security InfoWatch for 14 years. And then we have some of our really great, what you would consider business managers. These are folks who are overseeing regions and working closely with you, either as an integrator or a dealer or a distributor, in Chuck's case, or an end user. So you have Chuck, who is our distribution manager. So he oversees our distribution partnerships. You have Jacob, Addie, and Chris. These are our regional business managers. They each have a section of the country where they're working closely with our integration and end user integration partners and end users to push forward and to introduce them to our product. You have Natalia, who is our head of inside sales. She's kind of like my right hand, making sure that things work properly when it comes to your orders and getting things moving forward in the ordering process. Javier, who oversees our engineering and service department, and Olga, who supports all of us from an administrative standpoint. So with the US and Canada, you have an extremely experienced team, experienced not only in the industry, but also with the product and what it's capable of doing, so that we're able to bring you the best version of SecureOS. Next slide. So let's talk about the company. Like I said, you might have bought a module a long time ago and you're suddenly realizing, okay, wait a minute, there's more to this. Most people don't know we have 18 offices around the globe with more than 40 trademarks and patents. We have 23 patents. If you came to ISC West, you would see all of those up on the wall and on the tables that are there. It's very rare in this space that a company actually has their own patents. We have 350 employees across the globe, and about 200 of those are developers and engineering related employees. So this is a very well-developed, well-engineered product. And we are based for more than 20 years in New Jersey. We're a minority business up there in the tri-state area, and we're in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Next slide. Also, you may not know, we opened up down in Miramar, Florida, our manufacturing facility. So if you're buying a camera from us, a UVSS from us, a soffit from us, servers that are shipping to you, appliances that are shipping, it's all put together down in Miramar, Florida. We are in 6 continents and 56 countries with 100,000 servers deployed and 300,000 projects. Most people don't know how big we actually are globally. A lot of those are here in North America, with over 3 million cameras somewhere around the world right now running our analytics for some customer somewhere, providing valuable data for their operations. And here are 2 really interesting statistics. 95% SMA customer renewal rate. We do perpetual licensing. So after that first year, you have the software and it's living perpetually in the state that you bought it from originally. So 95% of our customers after the first year renew, and 98% of our calls that come into our service center are resolved on the first call. That's huge. Go to any of our competitors, even outside of our competitors, call whatever software you're using, even your phone, whatever it may be, and see if on the first call, they actually resolve your problem. More than likely, they won't. They're going to put you in a trouble ticket. You never get it resolved. Us, 24 hours, we have things resolved. So 95% customer renewal rate. People love the software. We hope that you continue to add on to what you have. But with more than 3 million cameras, 100,000 servers, 56 countries and 6 continents, a 98% first call service resolution is unheard of in this industry. We're proud to have that. Next slide. So what are we? A lot of people say, oh, you're a VMS, you're a VMS. No, we're not a VMS. We have a VMS module. That's it. Most people don't know. We have 50 different modules around this system. SecureOS is an incredible operating system. One of those modules is for searching and archiving. That's the video management module. But what about the rest? We are the world's first true video intelligence platform. 26 years old, 23 patents on video intelligence. We know what we're doing. 300,000 projects, 100,000 servers, over 3 million cameras running our software somewhere in the world today. Our lessons learned process is what creates this video intelligence platform. So as you look around this, you're going to see things and you're going to say, oh, I've seen something similar to this on some VMS companies out there. They've got building automation. They do SCADA. They can integrate my fire alarm and access control. That's where it starts to end. They may have some open API and third-party interfaces, but we start to differentiate ourselves at this point. Configurable dashboards and reports that you can configure. The data that you get out of our analytics, which we're going to talk about in a moment, is going to be able to, it's going to give you the ability to make long-term planning decisions and understand your environment. We like to ask the question, what do you want to know about your environment? ISS is going to help you learn it, because we do have true artificial intelligence, behavioral video analytics. We help you make decision management. One of the things that we talk about and educate our dealers and our end users about is that artificial intelligence is about, it's an artificial intelligence. We're trusting a software or a machine to replicate a human action. We are able to do that because our analytics are such high accuracy. We're able to do behavioral analytics. We can detect whether people are holding handrails. So when 16% of workers' comp claims are due to injuries going up and down handrail or stairwells, we're able to tell you if your employees are actually holding their handrails or not. We can do situational awareness analytics. We have an entire situational management platform we like to call Fulcrum, which is an incredible suite of offerings that you'll see in a moment. But the situational awareness analytics that you'll see in our tracking kit are unlike anything in terms of the marketplace today. We can do labor safety and compliance analytics, from PPE to man overboard to man down to people falling down to people running. All of these things come together. We can also do capture and recognition. Our face and our license plate capture and recognition analytics are 20 years of neural network training. Eugene will be able to kind of tell you what that means, but we are working when it comes to facial authentication, facial credentialing, license plate recognition. We are operating at a level that no one else in the industry is operating at. And lastly, our ability to do vertical specific applications. That automated decision management that you see down there, we use it in Mexico City. Mexico City is 63,000 cameras, 5 command centers, over 1,000 LPR cameras, 1,000 facial recognition cameras, thousands of tracking kits running. We're able to do all of their decision management because we know what happens in the energy sector. We know what happens in the healthcare sector. We know what happens in the transportation sector. We have 100,000 servers running in the world right now. So we take all those lessons learned, bring them into a vertical specific application that's reflected in our video intelligence platform. Next slide. Let's look at some of the analytics that we offer. So when you actually break down everything that we're able to offer, we offer about 50 different modules, and these leverage our patents and they provide high trust data for your decision making. So whatever your customer challenge is, one of our RBMs, one of our integration partners, they're going to ask you, what do you want to know about your environment? And then you say, well, I want to know this. We're going to be able to match our video intelligence platform to it so that you can start to become proactive. These are some of the analytics that we have, from high accuracy, and you can go online and you can look at the reviews of how accurate our solutions are for crowd detection, dwell time, smoke detection, running, loitering, the basics that people see. But with the amount of neural network training that's gone into them, ours are operating at a completely different level, and the way that the notifications happen through our system is much more interactive so that you can go ahead and start making decisions trusting it. 2 other things that we have. The SecureOS SBA, our semantic behavior analyzers, about 23 different behaviors that we're able to see, and then you can just consider it kind of the chat GPT of analytics. You go in and just search, show me every time someone's fallen down, show me every time a red car has shown up on our property, show me this, show me that. That system is going to be able to just provide that data for you. Our POS is great for QSR, quick serve restaurants. We have a full suite of systems that we're able to do there. Dispatcher for decision management, helmet detector for PPE, as well as mass detection. SecureOS MCC for multiple locations. It's a high availability system that you can run multiple command centers or locations off of. FaceX, everybody knows us for FaceX and our auto, because we are doing capture and recognition at levels unseen in this industry in terms of accuracy and usability. Transit, we have a full transit offering that you're able to bring to your transit clients, whether it's heavy rail or light rail vehicles. Secure OS Crossroad for all of our ITS DOT folks out there, everything from pedestrian detection, Vision Zero systems, crashes for vehicles, whatever it may be. So there's a lot that we offer. And then what we're able to do is we can package these together. Some of the things that you saw here are multiple packages of analytics all put together into one. You go to the next slide. And what we're able to do is we're able to offer what we like to, the BIP. It's not the VIP, it's a little bit different, is our business intelligence packages. So what you've got and what Eugene's going to go through is this robust video intelligence platform. It's going to give you dashboards. It's going to give you reports. It's going to give you mapping capabilities. It's going to be able to give you automated decision making. What do you do with that? With the experience that we have from around the globe, looking at situational awareness in airports or a transit authority, looking at safety and compliance in manufacturing facilities like handrail holding compliance and PPE-based violations. We take all these and we create these business intelligence packages. Here's a few of them. You've got Fulcrum. Fulcrum is our full PSIM. PSIM is a bad word, I know. We like to say it's more of a single pane of glass or a common operating software where you can take all of your different systems, bring them into one and be able to look at it through an analytics-based pane of glass to really know what's going on in the environment. And having come from the integration world prior to ISS, this system is beyond anything that anybody else has in the PSIM world. Insight, we're able to provide business insights and occupancy, things like that. Safety, we've already talked about. Logistics is extremely strong. Everything going on in your manufacturing facility and logistics, from how often do people get around different vehicles and forklifts to packages moving through the environment with numbers. We have a full port and rail solution, as well as Vision Zero, and our aviation solution, which is available to select airports that are out there. I believe that is all of mine, right, Joel? Are we going to Eugene showing it off? Like I said, there's a lot here. I know that that is a bit of a fire hoses, as you might say. You're about to see a lot of functionality that has come out in the past couple of releases in the past year that Eugene is going to show you, but there's more. If you have any questions, let us know. Most people don't know how powerful this tool is. If you have one license in your building right now, you have the capability to turn all of this on with minimal investment. And I can't wait to see what Eugene shows you with some of the capabilities. All you, Eugene. I'm gonna take my sip of water now.
Thanks, Matt. And thanks for the intro. So as Matt mentioned, we want to cover, don't want to overwhelm everybody. We're going to cover the last couple major releases, just talk about some of the key features that come out. There's a lot more features on that list. If you guys are interested, you can, reach out to us. We can share the full release notes for each one of those releases. So to get started, we're going to start off with some of the platform features that are kind of differentiators, and then we're going to go into some of the AI analytic updates that we've had. So next slide, Joel. So the SecureS JS mapping. So this is a module we released probably 2 or 3 releases ago, and we keep adding more features into it. This is obviously a big feature in the space that we're being deployed, right? So whether it's for transportation or critical infrastructure or campuses, facilities, JS mapping is a kind of a big requirement. So basically we're able to take a JS map, we can import it into our system, then we can search by the geographical information. It could be the street address, it could be some keyword search based on just the name of a place, right? Whether it's a restaurant or a building. You can search by coordinates. you're able to see, the field of view. So some of the new features that were added is being able to set camera field of views, being able to select multiple cameras on a map. So basically, if you can see on the screen, the second screenshot on the bottom there, you can just highlight a region in the map, and all the cameras that were in that region will automatically display the video of those cameras in the same interface. So it's kind of a quick way to see video from associated cameras. Another interesting feature, so if you jump to the next slide, Joel, and play the video. So from the interface, if it's a PTZ camera, we can set the field of view, and you can actually control the PTZ camera directly by from the icon. So as you see in the video, you can just move the field of view around, and you can make the pan, tilt, and zoom functionality directly from the map. So those are some of the high-level features, but a lot more features are included in this module. If you guys are interested, please reach out to us. The next module, Joel, so next slide. So Web Connect, as for those of you who don't know, Web Connect is our web-based interface. So we have a thick client. So this is our thin client, can run in any web browser. We also constantly adding features, doing updates to this module. One of the latest updates is we have a module for video backup. For those of you that might be familiar, it's called the SecureS Archiver. Okay, so this module copies video from your primary storage to a secondary storage, typically for long-term backup purposes, right? So you might be storing video for 30 days locally, and you want to copy from that primary location and store it for 6 months in a secondary location. Could be in a cloud, could be just a large NAS. So in our Web Connect, now we support the ability to access and playback video that was copied and stored by the SecureS Archiver module. Okay, and it's simply a toggle. When you're in the archive mode, you're going to have your playback button, and now when you press that button, you're going to have two options: your primary archive or your long-term archive. Okay, next slide. So for the mobile, this is a mobile app. So the mobile app is supported for Android and iOS devices, and it has most of the basic functionality of our live video and playback functions that we have. Okay, so the mobile app, it historically supported just H.264, so we expanded the functionality to H.265 as well. And at a later slide, I'll talk about some other updates that will be relevant for the SecureS mobile app as well. Next slide. Control panel. So control panel updates. This is part of our thick client. So this is the main panel where you navigate to the thick client software. So you can toggle between your different dashboards and UI interfaces, and you can also open up your main administration console from the control panel. So a lot of updates were done, a lot of usability updates. You can now the tabs that you create, as they're called desktops in our software, once they're created, it historically would lock those in the same position in the control panel. Now you can move those around and arrange them in any way that you want. There's also going to be a divider where you can move the divider, and you can set how many desktops you want visualized and how many you want hidden. And the ones that are hidden will be all available from a single drop-down menu that you will see all the remaining desktops. There's also going to be a option when you open the control panel settings, you can set the size of the text that you see in the tabs. So the tab name, sometimes if it's a lot of text, it gets cut off. You can set the size of the text. And there's some other updates as well. Okay. Next one. So two-factor authentication. Basically, it's pretty straightforward and it's pretty standard, right, in our industry. We've added this a few releases ago. So basically in your user rights, there's going to be a new checkbox where you can say, I want to use two-factor authentication. Once you do that, you will then set up a email. You will set up an email notification. And basically what will happen is once you go ahead and log into SecureS, Joel, you can go to the next slide. Once you perform your initial login attempt, you put in your SecureS user password, you're going to get an email where you would have a security code that you have to enter. So once you get that email, you're going to have a secondary login window that's going to ask you for that code. And then once it's verified, it'll grant you access into the software. Okay. Next. So Network Garden, basically this is for those partners that use our USB Garden for licensing purposes. So the main update here is we have a version of this where it's a network device. Historically, if you use this, you need one on each server. Now, if you have 10 servers, you just need to buy one of the network devices, put it on the configuration server, and that will license the rest of the system. You don't need one of them per server. So that's kind of the main improvement of this network device, in addition to some security improvements and working better in virtual environments and things like that. Okay, next. Auto, so SecureS Auto, this is our LPR module, a number of updates. This is one of our longest selling modules. So every release gets some updates. Some of the newest ones is we're doing the state detection using neural network. So it'll read the state, it'll display it in the user interface. We expanded our classifications. We have 7 now, so a couple more were added. And so those are kind of some of the newer features for the auto. Let's go to the next one. Cargo is our container number recognition module. So this is what we do in a lot of our port and logistics. So we're reading the ISO codes from containers. One big update that we added is supporting the IMDG codes. So this is the hazardous codes. We can read those symbols on the side of the containers, and we're able to basically say what class of the hazardous goods it is. Okay, next. So next few are basically our deep learning AI modules. Okay, so some of these are new ones in the last few releases. So vandalism, okay, this is using our skeleton semantic analyzer technology. Okay, so it's able to detect different acts of vandalism, which can be people striking something with their hand, their foot, an object. Okay, so next one. And I think we're kind of getting close to the end of this, right, Joel?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let's another minute or two. I mean, for those of you that have to drop off, we can send you this information later, but a few more slides. I'll try to squeeze it in. Graffiti, it's similar to the vandalism. We are looking for a specific act of somebody coming up to a wall and drawing something, right? Whether it's spraying with a spray paint or drawing it. So this is, we use this for transportation hubs, public locations, schools, campuses. And this is using our semantic behavior analyzer technology. Next. Loitering. So we've always had a loitering module. It's pretty standard, right, with most offerings. This one is a little bit more advanced. So we designed this specifically to work well in crowded scenes where there's not just like a controlled environment, right? It's easy to do loitering if there's just one or two people in the scene, but if there's a crowd, how do you differentiate and keep track of that person? So this is the module. It's a more advanced AI module to detect if a person exceeds a time threshold, and we can also detect if that person is standing or sitting down. Okay, next. Occupancy, kind of like the previous one, we've always done some type of accounting. This occupancy module, it was designed with more complex scenarios involved. So maybe like some kind of a march or some kind of you know, in a park there's a big gathering, maybe it's a gang. In a subway, maybe you want to measure how many people are on the platforms. So it was designed with a crowded environment involved. And actually the neural network, it's not even looking for the whole body, it's just enough to see your head. So if people that are kind of, you know, smooshed together, we can still count at a very high accuracy. Okay, next. Person down. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an AI engine to detect if a person walked in a scene and then something happened and they, you know, whether on purpose or not, they fell over, right? So whether they're on their side, on their back, on their stomach, the AI engine is going to detect that. Okay. Next. So I kind of went through it pretty fast. Just a couple more, 2 more slides, I think, and we're done. So some of the upcoming features that are, I think, you know, pretty exciting. We've had a lot of people, you know, a lot of requests, let's say, you know, for some of these features. So the Web Connect, global views. So this is, you can use the same views you use in our thick client, you can now use in our Web Connect. So this is your camera views. Our MCC, which is for our central monitoring and control, it's now going to have a remote configuration console. So you can basically launch the console and make configuration changes to all your remote sites from the SecureS MCC. Currently or previously, you would have to log into each site to make the changes. Now you're going to have a web console where you can just from a single user interface change all the remote settings. Okay. Automated update of SecureS. So this is a big feature as well. So basically, if you have a multi-server system, you can set it up that from the config server, you can put a new version and that new version will get updated to your entire system. And this process can be automated and unattended. So this is a big feature for larger deployments, right? You don't have to go to each server and manually perform the upgrades. Moving cameras. So an easy way to move, if you don't want to delete and if you want to load balance cameras between servers, now we're going to have an easy way to just select the camera, move it in the configuration tree, and it's going to move with its archive. Previously, you would have to delete it and recreate it. So this is another big usability feature. The next one, transcoding. Basically, this will allow us to support any video codec on our web client, our web and mobile app. We currently support that for our thick client, of course, but on our web and mobile app, we only support H.264, H.265. With transcoding, we will support all codecs, and also we'll be able to do more, you know, network load balancing. If you have a weaker network, we can transcode and create a smaller stream for low bandwidth applications. Last one there, semantic editor. Matt actually touched on that one. So this is going to be a tool that our users can open up this tool and create their own rules for our behavioral analytics. So that's a big one. Right now it's done on the engineering side. Now we're going to give this capability to our users. They're going to create their own rules and basically create their own analytics. That's a big one. You can quickly go to the next one, Joel, and I think we're basically done. So these are some of the upcoming analytics. Person fighting, drawing weapon, hands up detectors. And if you go to the next one, we have some updates. We have an ITS product that's it's already in production, but we have a major update coming out. Okay, so if you guys are interested, if you're in the ITS space, please contact us. Great product, lots of features for incident detection and occupancy and things like that. And the last one is we have a new upcoming camera. I'll go to the next slide for license plate recognition. So this is our own camera. It's going to come with a ton of options, edge processing, without edge processing, white light, IR. So also, if you're in that space, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to share any technical information about this product. Okay, Joel, I fit in as much as I could. Thanks
right,
everybody who stayed extra.
Thank you, Eugene. We have reached the time in today's program for Q&A. Again, you can submit a question using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And we've already had a couple of
Hey, Joel.
Sure, go ahead.
Before you get there, one thing. So that camera that Eugene just showed is deployed. It is in the field in some states. So it is out there functioning and working. So we're very excited about that. Let me close this out with this. You can see the capabilities we have. So call us. There's no need to go all over the place trying to find all of these different capabilities, from faces to auto to behavior to decision management. You don't have to go to the competitors. We are the top at what we do with video intelligence. So if you're a resale partner, you have everything you need right here to be competitive. If you're an end user, you have everything you need to learn as much about your environment as possible in one place. Example, facial. We can connect to access control systems. So think about, as powerful and as well known as we are for our facial system, with as powerful a tools as that, how can you use our facial system with your access control system if you're an integrator or an end user? Now combine the facial with behaviors such as safety analytics. Now you know which employees are acting safely versus who needs to be targeted for training, because you're putting safety with a face. So there's a lot of capabilities here. I hope you'll reach out to our regional business managers or reach out to us at info@issivs.com so we can help you make some decisions about learning more about your environment.
All right. Thank you, Matt. We've got just a few questions that we've had come in throughout the presentation, and then we will close out by announcing the winner of the gift card and going over a few housekeeping items. So I guess first off, Eugene, when is the next update of Secure OS coming?
That's a good question. So we just 2 weeks ago, we had our latest release 11.5. So everything that we talked about up until those last couple slides that said future features, that's available today in 11.5. The stuff that was in the future features, those are going to be released by the end of the year. Some in the next release, some in the next 2 or 3 releases. But all those features in the last couple slides will be out by the end of the year.
And Matt, question for you. I know this is something we talk about a lot. Are ISS analytic licenses perpetual or recurring costs?
They are perpetual. So while other companies, you're going to pay same recurring cost every year, we are perpetual. We do have reports as a service. So you pay for the analytic one time on a perpetual license, then you pay for the SMA, so you get the latest update. All of these things that Eugene talks about, when you have an SMA, it's covered. So as they release into the software and those release notes come out, you can call us up and say, hey, I want to get trained on what you just released. We're going to train you on it. So it's perpetual license. You pay your SMA so that you get the latest updates for functionality and security. but we do have some reports associated with the analytics that are as a service. So you can pay extra for certain tiers of reports so that you can get more data about your environment out of it.
All right, and along with that, Matt, is the pricing different for the different analytics?
It is, the pricing is different for the different analytics, yes. So depending on what you're trying to do, if you're going to get the semantic behavior analyzer, or you're going to get decision management module, which is kind of an all-encompassing across all of your cameras, that's going to be one type of price. Versus if you said, well, I just need 3 facial cameras, I need a camera in each stairwell, and then I need 2 cameras in the parking lot, those are going to be more segmented out. So typically we're either going to do a per camera, per system, or a per site. So we're either going to do it per camera for your usage, we're going to do it per system, so something like a decision management or a kind of an umbrella, or per site where you're going to say, hey, here's everything that I need. Can you price me for just one site? We can put those together as well.
All right, I think we've got time for one last question, then we're going to close out. And Eugene, I'll direct this to you. ISS, how does ISS ensure consistent quality service and customer satisfaction across different geographies and industries? And what strategies or best practices do we employ to adapt to the unique requirements and challenges of each client or individual sector?
That's a good question, Joel. So, I mean, for us, as Matt mentioned, our support, it's critical. I mean, very important part of our business, right? And how do we ensure that is by having local support in all the regions that we do business. Okay, so all the offices across the globe that ISS sells, we have local support. Okay, so we have sometimes sales and support, but we also always have somebody local. We have a ticketing platform. So you can call, you can go to our platform, open up a ticket. We have standardized SLAs where you get a response time, either real time or somebody within an hour is getting back to you. And as Matt mentioned, resolution times are typically within the same day for most of the tickets. And then of course, some more complex tickets might, take a day or two. But it's having that local support and just knowing your local partners. That's kind of how we strive to do global support.
All right, thank you, Eugene. And like I said, I think this will be the last question. In terms of the winner of our gift card, that is going to go to Diane Lindsay. We will be following up with you after the presentation today to get that gift card in your hands. But to close, I want to thank everyone who attended today's program, as well as our speakers, for sharing all their insights. To learn more about ISS and our portfolio of solutions, visit issivs.com. Thank you. Have a great day.